The United Nations Development Programme tells us that 1 out of every 8 people on our planet lives in extreme poverty.
They carry the hopes, dreams, rights and expectations of people everywhere.
To address global challenges such as poverty and climate change, the United Nations has established the 17 Sustainable Development Goals since the year 2015. These goals call for the eradication of poverty, the protection of our planet, and the improvement of lives and futures for everyone around the world.
One person that can fully grasp the importance of those goals is Mr. Wang Zhijia. From 1978 to 1983, he represented China at the UN Environmental Programme. There, he negotiated regulations for the trade in pesticides and hazardous chemicals. Wang believes his work at the UNEP grew out of a process that started just a few years before he got there.
As mentioned to the 1972 Stockholm Conference, it is the starting point for the global environment and development process. The background is due to the industry development in the Western Europe, America, and also including Japan, there is a serious negative impact on human health and also on the environment since the 1930s until 1960s. Until 1968, the environment issue was put on the agenda of the UN General Assembly. In 1969, 1 year later, UN adopted resolution on holding a United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden, in 1972.
In the 1970s, as the world scrambled for economic development, it was largely ignoring very real environmental costs. The Stockholm Conference was where it all changed.
The Chinese delegation played a quite important role in that conference. In the delegation, there are 4 representatives. One of them is Professor Qu Geping.
Stockholm was China's first major environmental conference as a permanent member, and it sent its largest delegation. One key member, Qu Geping, remembers that China was just waking up to its own environmental problems. Later, he would go on to be involved in the nation's first State Environmental Protection Administration, where good ecological choices would become national environmental policy. Wang Zhijia has always believed that Qu was a pioneer on the hard road to China's environmental awakening.
真的，我做环保工作，做环保工作的人，大家都知道，这个工作是不好做，也挺吃的，挺艰辛啊。都是水呀引起的问题比较多。农业用它浇的水，农作物都死了。我们喝水呀都没地方喝，所以这样才修水库，解决水。所以说，我们现在水就是把这个水库的水，就是这个。绵水库那个地方看起来就像个海，当时是为了解决北京的喝水，修了绵水库。城市要清洁化，水库旁边不能够修工程，所以搞这个环境保护的是一个非常伟大的一件事。
That dramatic transformation in China is encouraging, not only for one country, but as an example for the international community to draw inspirations from. The UN Development Program works to eradicate poverty and reduce inequality through sustainable and inclusive development in more than 170 countries and territories.
It's very nice. So we have to develop new means of, financing development. So at this time, we know that there are $450 trillion worth of assets and wealth in the world. The SDG financing gap every year is about $4 trillion. So the money is there. So the challenge is how do you align this, wealth and investment to the needs in developing countries so that we can, make progress faster and achieve, the kind of aspirations that people have for a better life.
We also need to remind us, if we shift the focus from the North and South cooperation to the South-South cooperation exclusively, then what would happen? Do we intend to leave the other major part alone? Then what's the meaning? What's the significance? What's the impact for the multilateral framework? We definitely believe our partners from the global North are very much committed to continue to engage in this global efforts to attain the sustainable development.
Sustainable development goals are not only a rallying force for countries, but also for citizens and communities as small as this one.
Claremont is acting on its concerns about climate change. The city in California works closely with local companies to install solar panels for residents, and it helps weatherize their homes to cut energy waste in half.
I come here with the hope to find out how those grand United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are being translated into real life by the folks here. Laura.
Hi, Wei.
Hi.
Come on in.
Oh, good to see you finally.
Thank you so much.
You have a system now already established, yeah?
So this house is all electric. We shut off the gas. And so every appliance here in this house is run by electricity.
Okay.
And
it works here?
That's an infection stove.
Right.
Laura Jo Fu moved to Claremont 3 years ago. She was drawn by the community's dedication to sustainable living. Today, by connecting her heating, ventilation, and AC through an HVAC system, she's reduced her energy footprint.
So this is our HVAC system, basically.
I see.
And replaces a gas, HVAC system.
Okay. So that's your baby in a way.
Yeah.
Everything comes from there.
Everything comes from there. Very fuel efficient, very efficient.
But Claremont is connected in another important way. The Institute of Postmodern Development of China is also based here. It places classical Chinese thinking into today's big issues. Karen is its director.
Your community here is very unique in the way that you are showing your utmost support for issues related to ecological civilization, including topics like climate change.
Is a retirement community, but a very special one whose commitment is to social justice, peace, care for the earth, and care for each other. And so those people who seek to be in a place that is motivated by those visions comes here. So it's an amazing collection. We call ourselves an intentional community, which means that on a deep level we are there for each other. When I look back, I'm proud. When I look forward, I'm daunted. And especially in the last few years. There's a strong movement. We're working on educating each other. We had a big week-long discussion on food here at Pilgrim Place. How to be more plant-based, for example, for the sake of the earth. I don't think we're experiencing a backlash. So people who were indifferent are now opposed. And so now a whole nother level of discussion, a level of struggle has to take place because we all have to be on board for this change. We need global leadership.
I believe that we need to build a multipolar world. We need to build a world in which all areas of the world, all cultures, all religions, all civilizations are able to work together.